Hey everybody, being here today, I had a short conversation with somebody and I wanted to do kind of a preemptive video. I'm going to get some stuff together so we can talk about this issue. I got a friend, plenty money, really. The motherfucker, just rich ass, alright, one of them rich ass friends that really is unaware of poor or broke or median income problems. They really don't know anything about anything. Even before they had all this money, their parents had money. They got their own now, true enough, from hard work, but they lack the understanding of what real work can really look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, never worked at a fast food place. Never, I don't think ever worked at a minimum wage job. Like, the struggles of regular people that we go through, this person is oblivious. And I noticed something, that there are a lot of people like that. Okay, even when they have been poor before, they seem to forget what it's like, and they seem to forget that when you were poor, the shit was getting worse while you were getting better. So if you really think about what everybody is going through now versus your particular experience, you should always just keep an open mind. And so the question I posed to this person, I said, what if I took 30% of your income right now, and Uncle Sam, took his share too, but I took my share from your gross pay, not your net? What if I took 30% of your money? They'd be like, that'd be pretty fucked up. I'd probably actually start thinking about, I'd start rethinking some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd still be able to pay his bills, true enough. But when we started talking about that 30%, and that how big that number would really be versus how much they make a year, because it's six figures, all right. So we talking some thousands, we talking tens of thousands of dollars. Is 30%. They said that would be pretty fucked up, because that person makes that much, they'd still be able to live. And I said, now what if you only made $25,000 a year, and somebody took 30% of that? They said that'd be robbery. That would be robbery. And I said, now, I want you to remember that, because everybody you talk about in these public housing programs and all that stuff, when they work, that's what they get charged for rent. 30% of their income. Uncle Sam also takes his 20 to 25%. So if you think about it, if this person literally makes $15 an hour, no, they don't. They make about $7.50. And let's say they splitting that between kids. Let's say that they're splitting that between gas, because everybody in the world knows that when you work a job, you don't get benefits from the government. It doesn't happen. So what these places do is, if you even need to ask for help and stay there, if you need at any point in your life any kind of help from the government, you are going to be probably completely unaware of the trap your ass is about to walk into. They call the dope house the trap house. I call public housing the motherfucking trap house. Y'all have no idea. You have no idea how bad it is. A lot of people watching this video, especially poor-ass minorities and just poor people in general who have to experience this stuff, is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people are not. And that's the part that is going to divide us, because they didn't give a shit enough to even open one contract or read one thing regarding any of that at all. Because if you did, that's the first thing it says, because they want their money, off top. If you ain't working, of course your rent will be zero. But if your ass is working, they get 30%. They don't give a fuck if you make $1. They don't give a fuck if you make $1 million. They want 30 damn percent. So when we get in these conversations about what poor people need, first they need to have some of these poor programs just completely restructured, because they're set up for the poor person to fail. And the poor person is not going to understand it. They're not going to know that that's the situation. You'd be like, okay, I ain't got no money right now. I don't have a job, but they gave me a place to stay. Now I can go find me a job. I can go look for work. I got all the time in the world. Maybe they ain't got a car, so I'm going to get this bus pass, and I'm going to ride all around the city, and I'm going to find me a job. I'm going to find me a good job, too. They find a good job. They find one that, around where I'm at in Kansas City, it's like, $12 an hour, something like that. 12, 14 is like good job, around here. And that's sad in some places. Y'all gonna laugh, like, for real. But rent is also low here. The cost of living is not California. It's not California. It's not Chicago. It's not in those places. So here, that's considered a decent wage. If you got just a couple of kids, if you got a handful of kids, you need to find a job that pays you $700,000 an hour, because it just takes too much to take care of kids. But back to the point, though. you get this job. Let's for sake say you making that let's say $10. Let's keep it real even. $10 an hour. That means if you make $1,000 for every $1,000 you make, they take how much? $300 every month. This is not a one-time deal. This is every single month they take that $300, right? Out of every 1,000. Now, let's say their math happens to be off, in which a lot of cases, a lot of people know this, it is. If you bring in $1,500 a month, your rent is not going to be $500. The calculator actually works it out to where it's like $600, it's $590 something. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people assume that the system's calculators are right. If you ever put in your car payment into a amortized, I don't know how to pronounce that, calculator, you might find out that you're overpaying a $12,000 car note by $300 or $400. And it might not mean nothing to you, but that $300 or $400 adds up. It really does add up, because if they're doing the same thing to you that they're doing to the 50,000 other people that are getting these cars off this used car lot, paying for the next 3, 4, 5 years, then that's $300 extra a pop per person, per contract, per signature. And people is coming in and out of them doors because they'll give you, that's why they give you a car with no credit, bad credit, all kind of stuff. That's why they'll give it to you. Because as long as you can come up with the money, they can set the terms for you, because they know nobody else is going to help you. All these poor programs are built to fail. Payday loans in all your black neighborhoods. Like, why is there 2 payday loans to choose from on one block? We have a place on Main. There is 2 payday loan stores on one block. 39th Street. Speedy Cash and Cash America Advance are on the same goddamn block. Why? Next to a Pizza Hut. Next to the shittiest grocery store you could probably ever see, that probably should have been closed down years ago, but people still go there. You just got to check your dates and shit, because, they be tripping. But poor problems are monumental. Never in your fucking life tell a poor person to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, to just work harder, to just do any of that. And most fucking certainly if they black. All right, because we're not even going to dive into some of the other shit that we have to face that the world knows nothing about. Like, even good white people, even awake and aware white people, even white people who are fighting for black rights don't know some of the shit that we have to go through, because we've been trained to keep our mouth shut through most of the process. So I wanted to do a short video to kind of touch on some of the stuff I want to talk about. And poor people problems, man. That PPP. Poor people problems are just mountains. It's mountains on top of mountains on top of mountains. It's not just you removing pebbles to get to the core. No, you're removing the actual mountain. And when you remove it, there is another mountain. And then when you remove that one, there is another mountain. And then we can go on forever. But you get the point. I do this because I like to try shit. I experience a lot of stuff. I consider myself a fairly cultured person, except for I don't know any extra languages and stuff like that. But I'll say that the stuff that I've ran into, the barriers that I've faced, because I'm a breaker of those barriers, so I can definitely tell you where they are, what they are, and how they affect you, because that's what I do. I'm a researcher. So maybe sometime this week I will get a video together and upload, and hopefully put some real math in there. Some hypothetical wage or something, so you can see just how much money your ass won't have. And the more money you make, the more money they take. So if you did find a job for $20 an hour, your first 3 weeks of working belongs to them. Before you get that check, it belongs to them. And a lot of people who only work these minimum wage jobs can't even afford a deposit after that, to get out and to go find a place to live. They can't even afford the damn deposit. So, that just move shit don't work. All right, that don't work either. Don't do it. Just wait till the video come out, and we gonna do a pseudo budget, and we gonna figure out exactly how much it costs. We gonna do it. Hopefully, I'll be able to upload it and do it with somebody with kids, somebody with no kids, somebody with 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the different hypothetical scenarios. Because once you see that a single person would struggle off of this, then you'll really understand what families go through. Because once you start working, ain't no daycare for you, ain't no food stamps, ain't no Medicaid, ain't no none of that. You're gonna get it. They cut you off because obviously you don't need it anymore, you're working. But the transition period, The transition period is a bitch. So I think that it's my duty to at least explain to the people that I know that will run into this video exactly what the fuck is going on around your country. Because it's not only happening here in Kansas City. It's called gentrification. And it's happening everywhere. When they're not trying to keep you in the place, when they made enough money, they sell it to somebody else who knocks it down or refabs it, turn it into condos, and now there's no more housing. You got more homeless people on the street and living with their grandmamas and aunties and uncles and stuff like that. So that puts more pressure on your tax dollars. So if you could start to understand where the real pressure comes from and why your tax dollars go nowhere, I can help you with that. Only a little bit, because I only know a little bit about a few sectors. Just remember that you're never going to know everything. So sorry about all the noise, but I like being outside sometimes, you know. But I'll catch y'all in another video. Peace.